Understanding the Madden-Julian Oscillation, or MJO, can help manage our cotton crops during the growing season. So when it comes to irrigation scheduling or anticipating a storm or heat wave, the MJO, when it's active, can be a real game changer. Unlike the Indian Ocean Dipole or El Niño Southern Oscillation that operate on annual timescales, the Madden-Julian Oscillation tends to function on weekly timescales. So it's a moving mass of cloud and wind that, when active, essentially organises the tropics into wet and dry phases during the Australian monsoon. Although the MJO is often traditionally thought of as an influencer of tropical climate, it can also play a role in the timing of rain events and heat waves down into southern Queensland and New South Wales. So there is still some scientific debate of how best to identify and measure where the MJO is in its life cycle. The easiest way is to see a map of where each of the 8 phases are along the equator. It does vary slightly during each season. However, normally phases 5 and 6 depict the MJO in Australia's north. Prior to its arrival though, the MJO circulation can pull all the tropical moisture westwards over the Indian Ocean, much like a wave on the beach pulling you towards the rising water prior to the wave breaking. During these early phases of the MJO, we can often receive heat waves or weeks of fine weather. The phase or spider diagram used to trace the MJO can be quite confusing to interpret. When looking at the spider diagram, imagine looking down from the North Pole, where each phase represents an area around the equator. So if you think of the MJO as an animal that when inside the circle, it's asleep in its burrow. When the MJO comes out of the circle, it tends to move in an anti-clockwise direction through various phases. Or it may simply skip a phase and then re-emerge out of the circle in a new location. The further the distance outside of the circle, the stronger the event. During a La Niña event, the signal of the MJO tends to get lost or buried in the really broad-scale convection associated with the Walker circulation and other noise over the maritime continent, which is the area north of Australia. So in these circumstances, the MJO phase diagram doesn't really offer much guidance on strength or phase. I look back at years in the last decade and the preceding phases of the MJO have more reliably brought heat waves than quite often a tropical cyclone will form once the MJO has passed. Earlier in the growing season, MJO events tend to be more aligned with rainfall across central eastern Australia. But later in the growing season or early in the new year, a passing MJO can result in rainfall event occurring some 1 to 2 weeks later. We all look at computer-generated model guidance as colour charts to determine when the next rain event is coming. Tracking the MJO can help evaluate risk and better understand what's driving the forecast, and just give us more confidence with our management activities. It's the dominant source of variability in our growing season for in-crop rain. So with climate scientists anticipating tropical influences to push further south in the future, with that comes greater impact from the Madden-Julian Oscillation.